JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, St. Elizabeth farmer charged following market fight. The St. James police charged a St. Elizabeth farmer with attempted murder and assault at common law following an incident at a market in Montego Bay in the parish on Friday, February 12. The farmer has been identified as 45-year-old David Hibbert of Whitehall in St. Elizabeth. Reports from the Anchovy police are that about 3 p.m., Hibbert and a female vendor got into an argument during which Hibbert armed himself with a knife and advanced to the woman. A male vendor saw what was happening and intervened. Hibbert then used the knife to cut the man on the neck before stabbing him several times. Hibbert was handed over to the police after he was accosted by vendors in the market. He was charged on Monday, February 22, and his court date has been finalized, the police said. 2 persons shot in Red Hills. 2 persons were shot in Rockwell Square in Red Hills, St. Andrew on Monday. One of the victims, 32-year-old Ian White of Rockwell, died. The second victim is in hospital in serious condition after being shot in the chest. White and other persons were standing in the square at about 8 p.m. when a car with several men aboard drove up. 2 men got out and shot White. He ran but collapsed. It was then discovered that the second person had been shot. Police investigate shootout between security guard and a man in Portmore. The St. Catherine South Police are probing an alleged shootout involving a security officer and a man in Portmore on Monday. Investigators say the security officer was visiting her home when her ex-boyfriend appeared. There was a dispute, during which the ex-boyfriend allegedly pulled a firearm and shot at the security officer, who returned gunfire. No one was injured. The police are now searching for the ex-boyfriend. Free medication coming for some Jamaicans with sickle cell disease. Almost 4,000 Jamaicans living with the sickle cell disease are to be allowed to fill their prescriptions for free at government pharmacies under a new scheme approved by the Cabinet. The good news was announced this morning by Minister of Education, Youth and Information Favour Williams during a post-Cabinet media briefing. The Cabinet gave approval for the exemption of fees at public pharmacies for all persons with sickle cell disease who access care at the University Hospital of the West Indies Sickle Cell Unit. This will enable them to have their prescriptions that they would have obtained from the Sickle Cell Unit filled at public pharmacies at no cost to them, said Williams. There are approximately 18,000 persons with sickle cell disease in Jamaica, and 22%, or 3,600 of these persons, currently seek care from the Sickle Cell Unit at the University of the West Indies, added Williams. According to the minister, it will cost the government approximately $36 million to provide this service, with the funding coming from the pharmaceutical budget of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Teenagers and a man face gun-related charges in St. James. The police arrested and charged 3 men with illegal possession of firearm and unlawful wounding after they allegedly harmed a man during an altercation in St. James on Wednesday, February 17. Charged are 18-year-old Noshawn Rowe, 18-year-old Salim Perkins, otherwise called Junior, and 24-year-old Michael Manderson, otherwise called Bluefoot, all of Urinites in the parish. According to the police, the complainant was walking along the roadway when he saw Perkins, with whom he had a previous altercation. Another argument reportedly developed between the two when Rowe and Manderson joined in. The police said Rowe used the firearm to inflict a wound to the complainant's head. The complainant, however, managed to escape and was assisted to the hospital where he was treated, the police said. The incident happened about 7 a.m. The police said Manderson was arrested at home during a snap raid on Friday, February 19. Rowe and Perkins turned themselves over to the police later that day. The 3 are to answer to their charges in court. Accused lottery scammer nabbed in St. James. The St. James Lottery Scamming Task Force is reporting the arrest and charging of a man for possession of identity information with intent and possession of access device following an operation in Coral Gardens in the parish on Tuesday, February 23. The man has been identified as 22-year-old Lance Brown of All India Crescent, Montego West Village in the parish. Reports are that between the hours of 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m., a team of officers carried out a raid at Brown's house and an on-site analysis done on his 2 cell phones where numerous credit and debit card information, scamming conversations among other personal information were found. He was subsequently arrested and charged. Brown's court date has been finalized, the police said. Only students sitting exams to participate in face-to-face teaching. Only students who are to sit major examinations will be allowed to participate in face-to-face teaching. Therefore, only grade 6 students at the primary school level and grades 11, 12, and 13 students in high schools are going to be allowed in classes. This was announced at a post-cabinet media briefing this morning by Minister of Education, Favour Williams. Williams said discussions were held with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and Cabinet before the decision was made. She added that sectors, stakeholders including principals, and the e-COVID task force were informed of the decision Wednesday morning. Many of our students come from different communities to attend school. Our risk-based model in terms of our process continues to be used. We continue to input new data that we receive into the model, and as we analyze the data and as we go along, we cannot ignore the caution lights that we're seeing, Williams stated. The Education Minister said students from other grades would revert to online and distant learning. More than 400 schools have been approved to restart face-to-face classes, but a little over 300 have resumed that modality. But with COVID-19 cases spiking in recent weeks, President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Jasford Gabriel, said that over 30 schools have been impacted and that they had to close or pause their operations. On Wednesday, Williams said there has been no wholesale closure of schools that have been impacted. Jamaica on Tuesday recorded 193 new cases, increasing the total to 22,019, with 8,292 being active. 1 additional death was recorded, moving the tally to 406. Chang says no more SOEs until appeal. Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, says the government will not seek to declare another state of emergency, SOE, until its appeal is heard. At the same time, Chang noted that the security measure will be imposed only when absolutely needed. He was addressing a Gleaner Editors Forum on crime yesterday. Jamaica has recorded 218 murders since the start of 2021. SOEs are one of the main features in the government's crime-fighting strategies. Last September, a Supreme Court judge ruled that the detention of 5 men under the state of emergency was unconstitutional. The men had been detained for extended periods in at least 3 parishes. Justice Bertram Morrison had declared that the men's constitutional rights and the Constitution itself had been violated by what was described as executive detention. The government subsequently filed an appeal. According to Chang, it is the full court that ought to rule on the constitutionality of the SOE, especially at this stage. Chang said the judge had made some comments, but we have to go to the Court of Appeal to get their call. We are confident we'll be successful in dealing with it. Of course, we may have to look at some of the regulations, which is a different issue. Chang reiterated that if it was absolutely necessary, the government would consider declaring another SOE. The security minister told the forum that strong policing would be deployed in affected areas before pursuing the measure. It goes back to the level of lawlessness, gangs taking over communities, capturing and murdering people, burning down homes and running people out. Chang said as he cited conditions where the declaration of a state of emergency would be absolutely necessary. Jamaica's COVID tally passes 22,000, death toll at 406. Jamaica yesterday recorded 193 new cases of COVID-19 and 1 new patient death, pushing the total number of confirmed cases to 22,019 and the confirmed COVID death toll to 406. There are now 8,292 active cases of the virus in the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the latest death is a 55-year-old male from St. James. The ministry also reported 2 more deaths as coincidental. Meanwhile, of the newly reported cases, there were 93 males and 97 females, with ages ranging from 19 days to 89 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 42, St. Catherine 36, St. Anne 28, St. James 25, Portland 22, Westmoreland 10, Hanover 10, Trelawney 8, Manchester 4, St. Thomas 3, St. Elizabeth 2, St. Mary 2, and Clarendon 1. The country also recorded 61 recoveries yesterday, bringing the total since the outbreak locally to 13,107. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.